Welcome back to the Ticket Setup series. In today's session, we're going to continue to focus in on the service catalog and creating knowledge articles, but specifically, we're going to surface those knowledge articles now in the end user portal for Tikit. So out of the box, an end user has the ability to go to the following URL, which is web.tikit.ai/requests. And when they do, they're presented with the end user portal. And the end user portal out of the box shows you all the tickets you're a requester of and all of the approvals you might have as an approver. Now you can also add a request here. And by default, the way this experience works is just like Tikit Virtual Agent. So you're going to ask a question. My computer is running slow. And you're going to get a response, which is going to be that knowledge article. Now, this experience can be configured to visually show the knowledge articles and the templates that you create in what we call a visual service catalog. It's very similar in concept to the help menu, where you can have different departments or services like IT, human resources. And in those sections, you can have different types of options, such as different forms or different knowledge articles. We're going to focus on how to promote a knowledge article into the visual service catalog of the end user portal first. Then in the next section, we'll focus in on how to surface templates inside of the end user portal. It'll be very simple once you actually see how to do it. So before I can promote this knowledge article that we created right at the beginning of this section, my computer's running slow one, into the end user portal, the first thing I have to do is I have to have what's called a service offering. The service offering is almost like a parent that anchors all the children items underneath it, which were called request offerings. So you'll see here on the service catalog here, this article does not have any request offerings and service offerings. So step one here is to create the service offering. So what I'll do here to do that is I'll go to settings, and then I'll go to the service offerings section. And once I'm here, I'll be able to add service offerings. So if I click add service offering, this is where I'm going to be able to define the parent service offering to put knowledge articles and templates, these different catalog items inside of this service offering. So for me, I'm going to just type IT here for the IT department. Description is optional. It will surface inside of the service catalog. I'll keep mine blank because I think it looks a little bit cleaner that way, but you can add a description if you want. You have the option to automatically expand this section or not when you first load the page. You'll see what that means once you actually see it inside of the end user portal. I actually like them being automatically expanded so the end users can kind of see everything that's available to them. But if you have a lot of service offerings, you may want to expand some of the top ones and leave some of the bottom ones collapsed. And you can play with that as you're working through it. You can also change the icon associated with the service offering. This is the default one. It's pretty clean and simple, but if you want to have different icons for different service offering sections, you absolutely can do that. Now I'll save this, and I will now have my one service offering. I'm actually going to create a second one to just highlight something very quickly. I'll create a facilities one. It's automatically expanded. The thing I want to highlight here is, as you're adding service offerings, the order that's here is going to dictate how they're shown up inside of the visual service catalog of the end user portal. So if I wanted IT to be second, I would move IT to the second position. I want IT to be first, so IT will show up first now. Last thing I'll say here is that these service offerings won't show up inside of the end user portal until they have knowledge articles and templates that are request offerings in them. So I can have as many service offerings here as I want, but nothing will show up until I actually associate catalog items to these service offerings, which is what we're going to do now. So if I go over to the service catalog now, you'll see here that I have my knowledge article, which was my computer's running slow one. And I talked about this in one of the first videos where I'm creating this knowledge article, but I didn't actually do anything with it. Now I'm actually going to do, which is I'm going to enable this as a request offering. So what I'm telling Tikit is I want to promote this as a request offering into a service offering and make it available to the end users inside of the web portal. Now, when I do that, you'll see here that the request offering tab has lit up, and I have a few required fields here. So the title is the title. I'll do the same thing I did for the help card. I think I just did a computer running slow. My description is it's optional. Now, once you have the title and description filled out, the next thing is you're going to tell Tikit is what service offering do you want this in. This is an IT related issue, so I'll put this in the IT section. And the last option here is order. This order will dictate the order they show up inside of the section of the service offering. So there's going to be two sections. There's going to be a template section and a knowledge section. And just best practice, start ordering them the way you want. This order will also show up in the service catalog area, so you can kind of see, oh, my IT area, there's these knowledge articles, and they're showing up in this order. I'll click Save here to save that. And you'll see that'll be training the service catalog, and then my knowledge article here now has a request offering, a service offering, and an order. Now, the end result of that is if I were to go to the end user portal, the request portal, and I refresh that, what you're going to see here is something new. You're going to see here that I now have a service catalog area, and that service catalog area has a knowledge base area, and that knowledge base area has a computer running slow knowledge article, which is that catalog item that we were creating earlier and editing. If I select that, you'll be presented with the knowledge article. We're going to ask the same question you saw in Teams, which was this article helpful, yes or no? If I say no, that will bring you back to the home page. If I say yes, that will create a ticket, mark it as deflected. But the idea here is that if you like these end user experiences being in front of your end users, as a replacement to the Teams experience or as a complement, as another channel to create tickets and look at tickets, you can have this visual service catalog available to your end users so they can kind of browse all the options, much like you could do with the help menu. All right, this is where we're going to end this part of the setup series. Really hope you enjoyed the session, and if you do have any questions, please email team@cyerson.com.